Why, hello there, Trailblazers fans. Welcome into Courtside Monday. I'm your host, Chris Burkhardt, here with you for the next hour, going over all things Portland Trailblazers as they have now played two games in their Las Vegas Summer League schedule. Still got a couple more to go this week, but man, it's been a fun two games so far. One win, one loss. But you know what? It's Summer League. They could lose all of them. They could win all of them. I don't know if it really matters. You know, it doesn't really matter. Of course, winning the Summer League trophy. Yeah, we all want that. We want the Blazers to be the champions. We have fond memories. We remember Trendon Watford and co. Right? We'll see what happens here as they got a couple more games to play. But the story is not whether they're winning a summer league trophy or whether they're going to be really good or how many of these guys are going to make the roster or any of that, because all eyes have been focused on one guy who takes up almost the entire room, any room he's in. That is 7 foot tall Yang Hansen, the Trailblazers 16th overall pick out of this year's NBA draft. It was one of those ones he snuck up on people, right? No one saw it coming. No one expected him to come in and be almost a lottery pick. They didn't expect the Blazers to be trading down to be their target for a guy who was projected to be maybe a late first rounder, early second rounder, right? He said in his introductory press conference he expected to be taken in the 20s. There was lots of rumors that the Nets were interested, that Minnesota may or may not have been interested, and Portland took the surprise pick of the draft at 16. The surprise pick again, because no one really saw it coming. He wasn't on a lot of people's draft boards. He was up in the stands, right? He had to come down to get it. Like, no one saw it coming. So there was a lot of intrigue coming into Summer League, right? Everyone talked about his basketball IQ. That was something Joe Cronin talked a lot about, something Chauncey Billups talked a lot about. And then you start to go and you watch his highlight packages, and you see that he has a good passing game and good offense, and you can kind of see it put together, right? See, people start calling him, the Chinese Jokic, because Nikola Jokic is a big center who can pass the ball pretty well, right? So they're putting two and two together. They're trying to figure it out, and then you get a chance to watch him play, and then you're like, okay, now hopefully, what I've been watching is, it wasn't fool's gold. He really does have something there. Well, it took him all of one play, and he has a highlight pass that everybody's talking about. Hits a perfect cutter at the top, boom, right down the pipe, easy money, and you're like, here we go, right? The Joker gif, right? Here we go. That's what it is. And he didn't stop from there. He had a great game in that opening game. It was a win against the Golden State Warriors, Summer League team 106-73. And again, it was just right off the bat. It looked great. He played 23 minutes. He ended with a plus 19. He had 10 points. He had 3 blocks. He had 5 assists. He had 4 rebounds. He was 3 of 7 from the floor. But again, every single play, it was like a little mini highlight package out there for him. File it under. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it, right? And then you get the next game, the very next night against the Memphis Grizzlies, and that's a team that's rolling out a lot more size, a lot more physicality. Guys like Jalen Wells, who are legit NBA players, right? Like this is a much different team than the one the Golden State team rolled out. So it's a little bit more of a challenge for Hansen. But Hansen goes out there. What's he do? Oh, I'm just going to go out there and have more highlight plays. Very first thing he does was a little spin move around the defender, gets to the rim, very first points of the game. I get 2 games in a row. It's just like right off the bat, we're going to give you some highlights to talk about. He ended the night with 10 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and a block shot. Not a bad performance at all. So shout out to Yang Hansen. He has been looking incredible through 2 games, and now I'll get another chance here as the Blazers will continue their summer league schedule throughout this week. Still plenty of games for them to get out of the way and under their belt. They will be playing on Tuesday against New Orleans Pelicans. That is a 7 o'clock tip. Portland's getting these late tips because it puts them on at a good time in China, where the numbers right now are absolutely through the roof. And then they will play again on Thursday against the Houston Rockets to wrap up their 4 scheduled games, and we'll see what happens from there. So a couple more games to see what Yang Hansen has in store for us, but it was just so good to see just right off the bat, no hesitation, all the things that we had talked about, all the things that Joe Cronin had talked about, all the things that Chauncey Billups has talked about, all the things that Sean Highkin has talked about, all of our insiders, everyone had talked about with this guy. He put it on display. Put it on display, right? And as I tweeted out during the game that maybe this was the IQ that Joe Cronin was talking about, right? Because on draft night, it's like, yeah, his IQ. We've been scouting him for 2 years. His IQ is absolutely phenomenal. That's what people are going to love about him. And I did. Like, I asked him straight up after that, too. Like, I know you said it. I'm like, but like, what was it that stood out? He's like, he's just smart. He's like, his basketball IQ is legit. You can tell he has a grasp on the game. All the other stuff that if we wanted to be a better shooter, better rebounder, better this, better that, we can teach him, but he has a grasp on the game. And he has shown that already. Because as I tweeted, I was like, this is the IQ he's talking about, because every single move he makes with purpose. There is intention behind his movement, right? He's not lost on the court. That was another big thing I wanted to see from the Trailblazers rookie was, is he lost? Does he know what he's doing? Like, does he get a lot of situations where it's like the head's turned? It's like, oh my gosh, where am I going? No, he knows where he's going. Offensively, when he moves with purpose. Defensively, when he moves with purpose. He already is very good, as multiple broadcasts have pointed out. He's good at complaining when he gets a call against him. That's an NBA rite of passage, right? Everyone talks about needing to learn Chinese to talk to him. I think everyone just needs to find an interpreter, find someone they know who does speak Chinese, and we all need to learn how to say "ball don't lie." Because if he can drop a "ball don't lie" in Chinese one day, his Trailblazer legend status will be cemented. It will be cemented, right? And he gets in a little scuffle with the Warriors. He gets a foul there. He gets pushed, and he just looks over. I can't even remember who it was who pushed him, but he just kind of points to him. And as he's pointing to him, he looks over the Warriors bench, and he just laughs. He just laughs, like the Yao Ming laughing meme, like right there. The 2025 version. And as I mentioned on social, I was like, sign this guy up to a lifetime contract right now. He's poking the Warriors bench. He's having fun. He's giving us highlights. It's been a great summer league for the Trailblazers rookie so far. Exactly what you wanted to see. We talked about it all last week, that summer league really is not set up for big men to find success. And it's not. It's not. They're not playing with the typical point guards. They're not running a ton of sets. I think the Blazers have put him in a position to find some success because they put the ball in his hand a lot and let him show off his playmaking skills. But at the same time, there's been moments in those games where, I mean, Portland has 5 guys, all of them outside the arc. Okay, well, someone's going to have to move. The defense has this one tightened up. Going to have to do something else, right? Everyone's kind of looking at each other like, okay, who's moving? What are we doing? It's those confusing things that happen in Summer League. Because, again, Summer League at the end of the day is really just a glorified pickup ball. These guys have picked up the ball and practiced with each other for about a week. Now they're down in Vegas. Some of these guys are just battling to maybe make a G League roster at some point, right? Where is DJ Carton? Where's Andrew Carr? Where's Sean Padula? Where are they going to play? Is it going to be the NBA? The G League's going to be somewhere else, right? So you got guys who are battling for what their future is. And that all together makes for an interesting brand of basketball, right? Teams aren't necessarily scoring a ton of points. Defense can look great because it's just nonstop man on man. I mean, that game against Memphis, it was a 96-86 game, which that's like through 3 quarters at the NBA, right? That's just is what it is. But Yang Hansen, he's looked good. He's looked good. And again, I said at one point, I was like, maybe this is me just getting out, my summer league and just totally lost in the moment. And I don't even care because it's fun. It's fun right now. And then you just put that together with the fact that he's having fun while he's playing. He is obviously showing those IQs and things. It's great. It's great. As Kirk says in the YouTube chat, he looks like a rotation center. He does, and he's going to get in. He's going to get in. This team's going into the season now with 3 centers on roster: Donovan Clingan and Yang Hansen, Robert Williams, and of course you got Dwap Reith. So 4. And what are those guys? Dwap Reith, he's a good player. We all like him, but is he really like your second best big? I would hope not, right? What is Robert Williams? We all like him. Robert Williams has played barely 24 games in 2 years. So you got to understand what you have with Robert Williams, right? And so there's going to be ample opportunity for Yang Hansen to get in there and play games, right? And as I said to Chad earlier, I mean, Robert Williams last year wasn't playing both games on the back-to-back. You're either playing the front end or the back end, and then that's going to open up situations for Yang Hansen to get in there, and that's good. So, yeah, he's going to get in. That was what Joe Cronin was asked at the introductory press conference. Like, is he going to spend time in the G League? Oh, no. He's going to be with the big boy ball club. He's going to be up here with us. And there's going to be opportunity to learn, and there's going to be opportunity to get better. What's going to be the interesting part about it is just how different he is than Donovan Clingan. They play such a different brand of basketball. It is clear. I mean, Donovan Clingan is like leaps and bounds better than Yang Hansen is defensively right now. And Yang Hansen can get better. Of course he can. But, I mean, DC has a special ability around the rim to which you can hope he only gets better. Whereas Yang Hansen is leaps and bounds better than Donovan Clingan at distributing the basketball and finding open guys. That's his strength right now. Offensively, still a little bit to learn. You know, he got beat up a little bit when he put his back to the basket and tried to get down in the paint. Didn't get to work. He did get a beautiful bank-in 3. Banks is always open 24/7 in Vegas, right? So that works. He's proven that he's got a little bit of action in his game there. But they're just 2 different players, and so now how do you balance that and play that? And who plays off who? And when do you play them? You need defense, you got a guy. You need offense, you got a guy. It gives you things if you're Coach Billups so you can tinker with, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I'm eager to see how it all plays out. He's got 2 more games here. I think he's going to look great. I hope he looks great. Because one of my favorite things about him, I told Chad, my favorite pass he's made was a turnover. My favorite pass he has made was a turnover. Why? Because it was the right play. It was a situation where he has the ball up top above the key. He's initiating the offense. He looks at the cutter in the corner. I cannot remember who it was. It was like Book Knight or City Sissoko, one of the 2. And it might have been someone else. But I don't, that is not important. What is important is Yang Hansen makes the motion to him, basically like he choreographs it. I want to make this pass. And he does. He makes the pass right down there where if the cutter cuts baseline, he is untouched to the rim, easy to. But he cut late. And so the pass just sails into the front row, turnover. And what I loved about it was, it was the right pass. It was the right read. He was attempting to make something happen. And then as soon as the whistle blew, I think they went to timeout after that, he looks at him and he's just making the motion, cut. Speaking the language of basketball, right? Doesn't matter what language you're speaking. English, Chinese, Russian, doesn't matter. Basketball speaks for itself. I told Chad, I think you look at the Golden State Warrior, that dynasty they put together, they could win entire basketball games without ever saying a word to each other, being on the same page and just knowing what each other's thinking and speaking visually, right? And so when you got a 20-year-old Yang Hansen who's just sitting there just getting on the guy, you got to cut. This is what we're trying to do. Again, it speaks to that IQ, and you love to see that the wheels are churning. Happy Monday. Right back out to Daniel. He chimes in on the YouTube chat. And happy Monday to all you out there listening. If you want to join the chat with me today, tell me what you think about Yang Hansen. You know what to do. 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. YouTube.com, type in Rip City Radio. Find us there. And, of course, Chris J. Burkhardt is the name on social media. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, a couple more thoughts on Yang, and then we'll start talking about some of the other Blazers that we've seen, right? We've seen Ryan Rupert. We've seen City Sissoko. How is everyone looking? How is this free agency crop? How is the young rookie crop looking at Summer League? Put it all together and talk about it when we return here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. Welcome back in to Courtside Monday. Chris Burkhardt here with you. If you want to join in on the conversation, 503-248-0620 is that telephone number. And of course, you can follow us on social. Chris J. Burkhardt, B_slot for my producer over there in the other room. And of course, follow the station at Rip City Radio 620, where you'll be seeing all the latest from our Trailblazers insider, Sean Hyken, who is down in Vegas right now watching your summer Trailblazers, having a good old time there with their prized rookie possession, Yang Hansen, which is always good to see when the guys are down there playing well. And as Chad pointed out, it's cool to see that the main guys, right, the core guys are interested in it too. I mean, you saw that first game and that second game. I mean, Donovan Clingan was there, Courtside, Denny Avdia, Scoot Henderson. Everybody was there. Tumani Kamara, basically most of the team. And also, I noticed too they didn't publicize it as much. You didn't see it on the broadcast, but a couple good camera angles. You saw Tiago Splitter and a newest addition to the coaching staff, James Posey, there on the sidelines as well. And I already liked Coach Billups' coaching staff going into this year, but Posey is another one who, you go back to his playing career, kind of made his calling card on the defensive side of the ball, right? I think you just need to bring in like the old school defender, like trifecta. Maybe what's Tony Allen up to? Get Tony Allen in here to be an assistant coach too, right? Like,
what a pull, Chris. Tony Allen.
Oh, Tony Allen was like the ultimate. Like, he's like
could only hit the corner three, but
yeah,
man,
like, he had no offensive game. Like I said, he could hit the corner three, but like there was no offensive game. But just year in, year out, one of the best on-ball defenders. And like, oh my gosh. And like, hey, if I knock your offensive game, that's fine, man. Not everyone has it, but not everyone has defense either. Make that your calling card. Be good at it. He was phenomenal. He basically a huge reason, that Memphis was like their grind city, man. Like they were phenomenal. So, yeah, bring him on. But I like the hire of James Posey. I've obviously gushed over the Tiago Splinter hire, which is another good one. And Tiago's going to be great for Donovan Clingan. And also maybe underrated is maybe that Tiago Splitter is another good one to help Yang Hansen acclimate to being a member of the Trailblazers. I mean, Tiago Splitter is, coming over from Brazil, right? He's a foreign big and coming into the NBA. And then, so if there's a guy who knows what it's like to, be out of your element and, learning things, it's Tiago knows. So that's a good thing to have too. Like I said, I'm really eager to see how this all pieces together in the long run, because I think this is the best coaching staff that Billups has had a chance to put together. Love this coaching staff. And then obviously all the young guys. And who's like the only questions we have moving forward is who's going to start and who's going to play where. And like once we figure those out, the rest is just gravy and enjoying where they go and seeing if they can improve upon their 36 last year and try to make it into the play-in or make it into the playoff. That's going to be tough. Easier said than done in a Western Conference that just got better and better and better. But it's going to be absolutely fun to see. Absolutely fun to see. All right, now back to Summer League for a second. Again, Yang Hansen's been the talk of the town. I think he's been right up there with the best rookies. I mean, Cooper Flagg's out there just dominating, dropping 30 points on Cats. People are like dogging him because, oh, man, Carter Bryant put him on lock. And, yeah, he still dropped 30 points that game. He'll be fine. Don't you worry. The Mavs have already pulled the plug on him for the rest of Summer League. Yep, we saw what we need to see. He's good. Blazers, I don't think they're going to do that with Young. He's going to get in there and get the rest of his plays in, right? They still need to see what they got in him. But he's not the only Blazer that, has something to gain here. Is you got guys like City Sissoko and Ryan Rupert who have been out there, trying to convince the brass that they're still worth continuing to have in the lineup. You got guys like James Bouknight who been in the Riv City remix trying to put it together too. Caleb Love, who was signed on the 2-way deal, trying to say, hey, you know what? Maybe you need me up at the parent ball club. And he's looked good too. But I told you this. This is why I want to get into the Caleb Love convo for a second, okay? Has Caleb Love looked good at Summer League? The answer is 3 letters, not 2. The answer is yes. He has looked good. But if you are a follower of Summer League, if you pay attention to how Summer Leagues historically go, you knew this was coming. What did I say last week? I said last week that Young is going to have good games. He's not going to light it up. I even text my buddy before game 1. He's probably going to have about 10-8 tonight. He ended with 10-4. So I count that as a almost win. Good enough, right? And then I said that Caleb Love's probably going to lead the team in scoring when it's all said and done. Well, Caleb Love had 18 points in the first game, and then Caleb Love rebounded, and in the second game, he had another 18. That puts him at averaging 18 points. I think he's leading the team in scoring. Okay. Ryan Rupert, his first game put together, he had 23 points, looked really good. In the second game, he had just 3 on 1 of 4. Wasn't shooting as much. City Sissoko, he had 8 points in the first game on 4 of 7 shooting. They went through him a little bit more in the second game, 7 of 14. He had 20 points. So they've shown it. But Caleb Love's consistent. 2 18-point games. He was 3 of 9 from beyond the arc in that second game. And in that first game, he was 4 of 7 from beyond the arc. And he's putting it together. And then you're already starting to see people on social. And this is why social media is just so painful sometimes. Oh, man, he's already ready to go. Look at him. He's a refined player, and he has all these years under his belt. He's better than Scoot Henderson. Stop. Stop. Capital S, capital T, capital O, capital P. Stop. Caleb Love is not better right now than Scoot Henderson is. Okay, Scoot Henderson, a guy who has been starting games and playing at the NBA level versus a guy who just signed a 2-way contract. Good shooter, Caleb Love. Yes. Will not take that away from him. Still a lot before he's cracking an NBA rotation. Okay, I'm not getting out over my skis because he looked phenomenal against this type of competition. I'm also not getting out over the skis on Yang Hansen either. But Yang is doing some things that regardless of the competition, like, yep, I see what they're talking about. See the wheels turning. I see things come. I like that. I like that. And Caleb Love, again, not taking anything away from him. He's looked good. But let's just put to bed right now. Oh, yeah, he's better than Scoot Henderson. I'll tell you that. He's going to be no, stop. And before you come at me with like, oh, Chris, what are you talking about? I haven't seen it. Yes, haven't been looking in the right places because I have seen that conversation on Twitter. Unreal. But Caleb Love has been looking good. So I will give him that. Now, the other two, though, that we just mentioned, Ryan Rupert and City Sissoko, those are two that you want to see more of, okay? Like, you go into tomorrow's game, like, Roops, we need to see another game where you just put the ball on the floor and you go ham. I think we deserve that. You're going into, year 3. You've been doing this for a minute. You need to flex on them. Show them that you're ready to go. Like, I see Rupert, and I see still a raw player, a guy who still has a lot to learn. And I think that's fair. He's still a young guy. But this is now your third trip to Vegas. You need to flex a little bit. So I want to see more from Roops. I want to see him have another one of those 20-point games. I want to see the shooting be consistent. I want to see the rebounds, the assists, the defense. I want to see it all from him. Summer League, flex on him a little bit. Be the grown man. Go at it, right? And then City Sisco's looked great too. But City Sisco, the problem with him is that it's hard to gauge how much he's improved or how good he truly looks because Summer League is built for guys who are fast, one speed, and just hustle, right? That's what he does. Running nonstop, hustling. It's not like the shot has been overly amazing. It's not as if the defense has been overly amazing, but the hustle has been there. It's the Caleb Swanigan formula, right? Caleb Swanigan was phenomenal in Summer League. He was all gas. It's all speed. Just run.
I remember it well, Chris.
Hustle plays made him have good games.
Everyone was wanting him to be in Terry Stotts' rotation, and even to a point earlier that year where he passed Zach Collins in that rotation and was like, I think he started a couple games that year, as I recall.
Minute, but here's the unfortunate part. And rest in peace, gone way too soon, yes. Caleb Swanigan. But Caleb Swanigan's hustle made him stand out in Summer League. And then you got to the NBA, and that hustle was still too slow for the NBA, right? He was a step behind everybody. And hustling against, a guy who's playing for, hey, I really need to make this G League roster. I might go play in Greece. So either way, I'm going to have some fun. It's a whole lot different than hustling against Anthony Davis. You know what I'm saying? Right? And so again, City Cisco's looked good because he's just in that prototype. Bigs, big forwards who just run, can get downhill quick, and are constant hustlers, which is a great trait to have, by the way, tend to have success at Summer League. I think that's why City's looked pretty good. Makes it hard to really gauge where the improvement has been, how you think he looks in general. Because again, those things just kind of come out and you'll see that, right? So I like that. I like what we've seen from him. I want to see it again. Come into tomorrow's game and just, again, all gas. Let's go. Throw it at him. Show me what you got. He's playing big. He's beefed up, and you like that. I mean, he's still a G Leaguer at this point, but you like what you see. I still think a guy who has a ton to gain here is Ryan Rupert, because I think he's been playing. He's been bouncing back and forth between the River City Remix and the Portland Trailblazers. He knows what's going on. He's very raw, but he's very talented. He has a chance to make a statement, and I would really like to see it. I would really like to see it. And then, of course, there's James Bouknight, who, again, Rip City Remix faithful. They know what's going on there. Very good player. And that's the type of player, too, who, again, he's balancing and playing time in the G League, but that's the type of guy who could put it together, have a really good run at Summer League, and that's enough for someone to say, you know what? We want to see what you got. We want to bring you up to our club. And so there's a couple guys here who still have a lot to gain. And I think on Tuesday's game, you got to put it all together and show you got it. Got to absolutely show you got it. Caleb Love, I want you to score exactly another 18 points. Do what you've been doing. Show that consistency. And again, I'm not taking anything away from Caleb when I bring up the Scoot Henderson combo, because Caleb's been good. Keep in mind, he is a two-way player, who means he's going to spend most of his time down in the G League. And there might be times, injuries or that he'll be ready. And if the Blazers call him up because, Scoot's sick and Drew's not feeling well. Yeah, you notice I said sick. I don't want to say injured. They're sick. A little bit of flu went through the team, right? And so they got to call Caleb Love up because, hey, we're low on guards. We need you to come up here, help us out a little bit. I'm confident that he could get the Blazers through a game or two. He has that in him. He's skilled. He's definitely skilled. But again, he's not better than Scoot right now. He's just not. There's a lot of things that Scoot does that set him apart. And there's a lot of things that Scoot does that, again, I think can be special if he puts it all together. You would hope that he goes into this coming season, and this is the year where you finally do see it. You have no debate or who's your starter and who does, because a guy like him just grabs the bull by the horns and leaves no doubt. But he's a better passer than Caleb Love. He's a plus defender, and I think that's good. Again, I don't want you to get into analytics. Well, actually, he's not. Watch him play defensively. He's not a slouch. Like, he's not get hunted like a guy like Anthony Simons would, right? The shooting numbers have improved. I thought last year he looked so much more comfortable, especially with the deep ball. The way he drives to the basket is phenomenal. Like, there's a lot to like about Scoot. I think people get down on him because he was a third overall pick and they want more, right? And hopefully this year he gets more. But Caleb Love's not better than him, all things considered. Is Caleb Love doing well? Yes. Can't take that away from him at all, and I don't plan to. I love what I've seen from him. But at the same time, he put up 18 points in that game against Memphis. He was 7 of 21 from the floor. A lot of shots. The only other person on the floor who took more than 10 shots was City Cisco, who had 20 points. 7 of 14 shooting. 50% from the floor versus the 33% of Caleb Love. And again, Caleb Love, that can be his game sometimes. Just shot heavy. He had 18 points in that first game against Golden State. He was 7 of 16 from the floor. The only Blazer player to take more than 8 shots. The only player in double figures when it came to shot attempts. He likes to shoot the ball. He is one of those players that is like the prototype of he never saw a shot he did not like. But I'm telling you what, it's fun to see. It's absolutely fun to see. I like his shot form. I like what he brings to the table. Just not putting him up over Scoot Henderson yet. If you want to put the thoughts on this? You want to join the conversation? 503-248-0620 is your telephone number. Also go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, where Kirk asks a good question. He says, thinking, pondering, signing Chris Boucher for that final spot. I'll tell you what, I have no idea what they're going to do with that, but I do think, especially if they could get off Jeremy Grant in some sort of way, boy, howdy, would Chris Boucher make a lot of sense. A lot of sense. Why? Oh, because he plays decently. He can get you block shots. He can play defense. He can shoot the ball a little bit. And you look at his numbers, and what is he? He's a rotation big. And he's not a center. You can play him there, but he's definitely more of a 4. And that gives you a guy who you can trust to be your backup center, your backup power forward. And you're not worrying about who's starting over who, because it's 100% Denny in that situation. And you are right where you want to be. I have long been on the Chris Boucher train.
He a free agent?
Yes. Also, he's a Duck, so maybe I'm biased. I apologize.
No, see, I was just curious. No, yeah. I mean, he's always been a decent guy in Toronto. I mean, I'd be intrigued.
I just think it's time to bring another Duck in here. It's been a minute. I mean, come on. We lived through Drew Eubanks, the Shack of Troutdale. Actually, we did not live through that. We experienced it because it was awesome. GP2, on the other hand, a little bit different of a situation here, but we had the Beavs come through town. Give me a Duck in this moment in time.
Yeah, that was a case of differing situations, Chris. But I agree with you. Funny thing is I still laugh. At all those people because I remember that year who were like, "Oh no, Drew Eubanks is only playing because the Blazers are tanking." Yeah, well, carved out a pretty nice little role in the NBA for himself.
Well, I was one of those people who called them all out.
I mean, hey, there are some guys who deserve those strays. I'm looking at like a CJ Ellaby type, I mean, other guys, not so much.
I mean, Drew Eubanks is 100% a rotation big in this NBA. I mean, even if that is a third string big at some point, it's still part of that. I mean, that's a guy who's going to get in your rotation. Like, he is a roster eligible guy. He's a good center to have. Is he going to ever be Nikola Jokic?
No.
Is he ever going to be Yusuf Nurkic? No. He's going to be Drew Eubanks. That's just fine with me. He's a hell of a center.
Yeah.
And considering all the bad that went on that year, he was a highlight because I think when I graded the team, I gave him an A+ because he just showed up and did his thing, no complaining, and outperformed what anyone thought he was going to do.
I mean, along the same lines of conversation, Chris, I mean, it kind of goes back to something Chad and Sean Hyken talked about earlier in the Rip City Drive. Is like, can you expect anything out of Robert Williams this year in that center rotation spot? And I think it's a fantastic question. Are they going forward being like, okay, it's going to be DC and Hansen and maybe a little bit of doo-wop in specific situations and not really accounting for a guy who, is effective when healthy?
And that's the thing. That's the tough part. You said it yourself right there, and that's the unfortunate part. For all the good you just said about him, you ended your thought with 2 awful, awful words. When healthy.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
I mean, he's played 26 games as a Trailblazer in 2 seasons.
Oof.
That is not good.
No, it's horrible.
That is not good. And I think what's even more so worse is that the injuries have been different injuries. Like, it's not like it's just the one ankle that just keeps going. No, it's been multiple different types of injuries. Right?
I mean, just for perspective, Chris, that almost puts because I'm looking at now, for example, Zach Collins played in 11 games over 2 years, right? Similar-ish situation with an oft-injured big man, but yeah, I'm with it. It's interesting because if he's healthy, man, a rotation of Robert Williams, Klingon, and Yang Hansen could be something.
Yeah, and we saw in those healthy games from Robert Williams, it was phenomenal. But then you go back to that last season there in Boston. That's 61. He's played 61 games in the last 3 seasons, which was exactly how many he played in the season prior in Boston. He played 61 games. Started all 61, was 7th in defensive player rating rankings, finished 2nd on the team all NBA defense, right? And then since then, the injury bug has limited him to less than a full NBA season through 3 years. Not good.
No, not good at all.
And so I think the expectation with Robert Williams is you have to go in, and I think you almost have to not factor him in. And then if he is there, that's a plus for you. But I think you almost have to work under the assumption that he's not there for the moment. And then if he is, though, hey, that's in a good spot to be. But for how long? And again, I'm not knocking him. I want it to be 82 games because the few games we got to see him play last year, he looked good. Injuries, man, they just suck. All right, this is Courtside Monday on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, plenty of more Blazer talk if you want to join the conversation. Chris J. Burkhardt is the name on social. I got B_slot on the other side of the glass. And of course, 503-248-0620 is that telephone number. Plenty more coming up here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. Welcome back into the Courtside Monday. I almost said the Rip City Drive. I'm struggling over here. Chad said that the adapters that we use are gold around here, and I think the one he gave me is busted because I'm very staticky.
That's not
I
very
can
nice.
barely hear myself, and it's like one of those ones where you got to find I got to find the perfect spot for it, and the perfect spot is like hanging about halfway out, so my headphones keep falling out half the time. Like I just started that segment. I was like, welcome back into my headphones just fell out. Don't even know what I'm talking about.
I mean, I'll tell you this, Chris, is when I first started doing some fill-in hosting, I can't remember if it was, might have been Shacker, might have been former host of the morning show, Justin Myers. Somebody's like, just go on Amazon, grab you a couple of these adapters. And I'm like, well, this seems silly. Like, they're everywhere. I should always be okay. Chris, they are more valuable than gold.
Hey.
They never leave my backpack, and I always have them.
Yep. I know. I have like 3 of them in my bag at all times, except today. So,
That's
hey,
how
and if you
it
ever
works,
need, just go down to the Guitar Center. They're right there. But hey, let's talk basketball real quick. We got
Do
a
it.
few minutes left. And there's some good news, but I also think it's very interesting that we need to talk about. And that was the news that Victor Wembanyama has been cleared after dealing with his blood clot, right? And the blood issue. He has been cleared moving forward. Everything is good. That's great, right? That is great. People like that. We want to hear good news. I think Victor Wembanyama is insanely special. Insanely special, right? He has been cleared to return to basketball activities. That is good. He had the deep vein right shoulder thrombosis, which limited him to just 46 games last season. And as our Sean Hyken pointed out, I think that's a little frustrating if you're a Damian Lillard fan, knowing that Damian Lillard came back from his blood clot issue in about 3 weeks, pushed himself through the ringer, and then ruptured his Achilles. Little annoying.
Sorry. Are you like addressing that as a question to me?
Sure, if you want to.
It is.
Yeah, it's just wild, right? It's just wild, man.
It is. I mean, yeah, I'm glad to see him healthy. I go back, Chris, even to, a couple, it seems like it's something relatively new, and I don't want to say that like out of pocket, but I remember like when it was, LaMarcus Aldridge, I believe, had something along those lines too, and that was kind of a scary thing. Can't remember if that was in Portland or his time after Portland, but, Victor Wembanyama is like, he's a unicorn. You don't want to see anybody like that limited because of injury. And obviously, Dame and Wemby, very different at where they are with their bodies, their careers.
Right. But again, it's just the point that the point is that Victor Wembanyama got diagnosed with that before Dame,
right?
And it took just to now to get cleared.
So are you think that they rushed?
I think
Dame?
I'm hoping that the medical staff did not rush Dame, or that Dame did not rush himself.
It is curious.
Yes, I'm just saying. Granted, the Achilles injury has nothing to do with that, but still, a little suspect. You got to be careful with those things, man. The thing about the NBA is we love these players. We want them to be healthy for as long as possible because that's what makes the league awesome. So I hope Dame returns to form. And obviously, I hope Wemby's ready to go because that team's going to be filthy, dude.
So good.
Oh, my gosh, that team's going to be good. Oh. Portland lost out on Cooper Flagg. They lost out on Wemby. Please, Scoot Henderson. Hit, baby.
Right.
Please, Yang Hansen. Be better than Cooper Flagg. Let him eat it, baby. Have some fun. Blazers play again tomorrow in one of their summer league matchups. They are going to have some fun. You can listen to it on the KUMP. Watch it. Have some fun on Blazer Vision as well. And we'll be here to break it down all next week. It's time to put a bow on this one. Get out of here. Have some fun. Enjoy the weather. Until next time, Rip City, I love you.